So there are a number of phases to the roadmap, John. At the moment we're in phase 2, and phase 2 is a preparation stage where we're preparing clubs for a return to play. That'll run until June 29th. On June 29th our club grounds will reopen, only our grounds, not our buildings, and teams will be allowed to return on a non-contact basis to training. And then that runs up as far as July 20th when we get into phase 4, and in phase 4 teams will be allowed to play train normally, and then on July 31st, I should say, we'll return to actual games for our clubs. The 3-week lead-in is very important because this is something new for everybody, and our whole goal here is to try and minimise risk for people. Unfortunately, we can't eliminate risk no more than the broad society can't eliminate risk, but what we want to do is minimise risk and make it as safe as possible for people to return to their GAA clubs. So we do understand that some people are impatient and wondering why the GAA can't open its grounds and its facilities a little bit earlier than June 29th, but we have to put in place the correct control measures, and that takes time because we're dealing with volunteers. We have to put COVID supervisors in place, we have to make sure signage is in facilities, we have to make sure the proper sanitising equipment is available in our facilities. So that's why we're using this period, just to prepare clubs so that we can confidently say on June 29th, presuming of course that the government move on to phase 3 of their roadmap. If they do, we can say on June 29th we're satisfied that the level of risk for clubs has been minimised. So the main part of the club education programme will be the e-learning module. So what we want people to do, players, backroom team members, club chairmen, club secretaries, is to undertake the education module. It'll only be a 20-25 minute education module which we'll roll out online. People complete that, answer some simple questions, and then we'll be confident that they have a basic awareness of what the GAA is trying to do around safety in this context. Another aspect of it will be our webinars. So we're going to begin with a webinar probably next Tuesday. It'll be open invitation. Anyone who wants can join the webinar. We'll have some medical experts on it. I'll be there to outline some of the safety measures we're putting in place. We're also looking at other materials that we need to support clubs with. So the likes of signage and the best signage clubs should have, advice on sanitising, etc. We will provide all of that, and that'll be pushed out to clubs over the course of the next 2 weeks. Yeah, the role of the COVID supervisor is important. So what we envisage is that every club chairman and club secretary will undertake the education course so that they're fully aware of what a COVID supervisor is. That doesn't necessarily mean they have to be the COVID supervisor for the club or anything like that, but we think it's important that the leadership in each club understands what the COVID supervisor is. So COVID supervisors then will be appointed to each team, and their job essentially, particularly at the beginning, will be to ensure that every player and every participant, backroom person, whatever, that intends to enter the ground has completed the health questionnaire. So they'll only have to complete the health questionnaire once, and then at subsequent sessions, players and backroom teams, etc., will just have to confirm to the COVID supervisor on entry that their health circumstances haven't changed. Yeah, in terms of underage players, what we're advising is that parents or guardians should undertake the e-learning course, familiarise themselves with everything that's on there on behalf of their child, to talk to their child. There's no reason why the child also can't undertake it, but we're just saying as a safe measure that the parent or guardian should do it. So we'll expect parents and guardians to drop children to the venue and to be there to collect them from it. It's a very important part of what we're doing. We're also advising parents not to leave the premises until such time as the child has been guaranteed entry to the ground. So I suppose the first thing we'd like to say on that is that clubs shouldn't panic too much about what's in the document. We would advise clubs to read the document in relation to facilities. It's fairly basic stuff. It's stuff that you're seeing every day you go into a shop. It's making sure hand sanitizer is available. It's making sure that there's good signage around the club so that people understand the risks of COVID. So it's not much more complicated than that. We will provide specific advice in relation to deep cleaning of toilets, etc. As we get nearer to June 29th. But for the moment, what I would say to clubs is it's basic stuff, it's outlined in the document, and clubs will be way better than me or anyone on the committee at deciding what they need to put in place for their club. I think it'll be very manageable, John, to be honest. And look, most of the people on the committee are very active in their clubs, and they understand exactly the challenges that clubs will face. So we've kept it very practical, very simple, very straightforward. Probably the hardest bit of it is going to be actually, finding that 20-25 minutes to go online and to complete the education module. But once that's done, it should flow fairly simply. The very first training session, there will be a bit of a challenge there, because you'll have to make sure that everybody who's attending has completed the health questionnaire. But after that, it should flow fairly simply.